Welcome back. You're still watching Morning Live. Now, in 2009, the witness predicted that he will yet prove one of the most important commentators living in South Africa today. He says everything you ever thought, but never quite had the brains to put together in a cohesive, funny argument. Well, that's South African author, blogger, newspaper, columnist, opinion maker, and teacher, Ndumiso Ngcobo, best known for authoring the book Some of My Best Friends Are White. Well, the book was subsequently shortlisted for the 2008 Nielsen's Booksellers Choice Literary Award and then translated into Italian and German, and also became an instant bestseller, peaking at number 2 in the Sunday Times Bestseller list. The man, who sometimes writes under the pseudonym Silwane, kaNjila, is also columnist for the Sunday Times and television scriptwriter. Well, the former science and maths teacher, described by Chester Messing as the brilliant Commissioner of Random Weirdness, is our young creative this week. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Live.
Morning.
So much. You've got so much on your plate at the moment. But we need to go back. Let's go back to Mpumalanga, Hammersdale.
Yeah.
Take us back to a young Ndumiso.
Like, the young Ndumiso was a very, very, very intensely quiet and shy young man who buried his head in books.
Yeah.
I think I read the first time I read a novel, and I finished it. I was about 5.
Yeah.
A book written by Professor Sibusiso Nyembezi called Ubudodwa Abukhulelwa, and I was about 5 years old, almost burned the house down reading it, because we didn't have electricity back then, and so I was reading by candlelight, and I think I must have fallen asleep. So that's the type of young person I was. But then I also had a very, very normal life. I went and I played football, went to the river, swam without any swimwear in the stream, contracted bilharzia, and but I had a very normal upbringing up until, I suppose, the point where, my mom just decided that umagwala, that's my mom, decided to buy me encyclopedias.
Yeah. Let's talk about the comfort that you found in books. What is it about that space that was so comfortable and so soothing for you?
It's about, the thing about books, it's a world you are able to travel the world, so I could go to Greece, I could go to Mapungubu, I could go to Egypt, I could go anywhere. I still remember growing up, reading about Cleopatra being in a carpet and being unfurled in front of Julius Caesar, and how it is that worked. And so I loved, because I love that world, purely because I really am just very fascinated by human beings and the human condition, really.
And so somewhere along the journey, you decided, no, this teaching business and this corporate world is not for me. I am going to write. What inspired that decision?
Laziness.
Yeah.
I just tweeted that I'm here, I'm coming here. It's so unnatural for me to be up at this time, because at this time I want to be asleep, because I generally stay up until very early hours of the morning. I have to, I love the quiet, I love all of that. But to be honest with you, it was really just a sense that I wasn't doing what I'm supposed to be doing. When I was working in the corporate world, I used to work for a company that makes soap and soup and food and margarine. Unilever, and the thing about it is, it was just so difficult for me to be passionate about a packet of soup, and so I kind of thought, what can I do? And I thought I had things to say, and I had, I've got all these observations inside of me that perhaps need to be shared.
Some of my best friends are white.
Yeah.
Here you are penning this book. What space are you in? And at the end of it, when you read it, like, I think it's time. Let the public read this.
The funny thing about that book is I didn't even realize I was writing a book while I was writing it.
Yeah.
I've just felt compelled to write my thoughts and my observations about South Africa, whether I'm writing about the corporate world or whether I'm writing about what I observe about white people, black people, Zulu people, Tswana people, and so on. So the space that I was at is I just kind of felt that in South Africa, at the time that I was writing it, we were just not people who were doing enough of that introspection of just about ourselves, who we are, but I also felt that we're just too serious about how it is that even when we do talk about it, how do we talk about it? And I thought, let me just take the mickey out of everyone, because all of us are actually quite ridiculous. Human beings. I think generally, if you want to sum it up, we actually quite a stupid species. If you come to think of it, yeah.
Let's talk about. I mean, I read somewhere. I think it was in one of your books, somebody had written a little foreword about your book that was coming out and describe you as big-headed columnist. Do you think you come across as big-headed in your columns?
No, not big. It's not big-headed figuratively. Yeah. They actually mean big-headed literally, in the sense that I've got quite a huge cranium. So that's actually where it comes from. So it's not big-headed in the sense that I'm arrogant. I don't know if I'm arrogant or not, but they were actually saying it very literally, the size of my cranium.
Let's talk, before I let you go, the one guy you would love to write a foreword in one of your books, and if logistics or money was not an issue.
Good Lord, someone to write
your foreword.
My foreword. I suppose it would have to be someone quite interesting. I don't know, Salman Rushdie, or someone like, someone like really who is way out there. Actually, I just thought of someone, Ricky Gervais, the comedian and actor, because I think that he is very much in the same. At least I am in the same space, where he's at, or even Richard Dawkins. Got delusions.
So interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Ndumiso, thank you so much for talking to us.
Pleasure.
Thank you for being a young creative South African author, blogger, newspaper columnist, opinion maker. Is a young creative this week. Look out for his column in the Sunday Times and several other publications. He was a young creative for this week. Well, let's give a weather update before we give you the news at 8 o'clock.